Happy Saturday, everyone. Got a replacement sign for our old logo. Just printed that out this week. Have Iron Man helmet to assemble, another sign to assemble. It's gonna be a good Saturday. You may be asking, why are you sanding down the pieces? Why don't you just glue them together? Well, first off, the printer's not perfect when it comes to these ends. Sometimes they flare up and bubble out, elephant out, and sanding them down just makes it a better contact, and then we can just glue them together. Also, the coarseness of the sandpaper causes grooves and it allows the glue to stick better. At least that's what I've found out. Now it's a matter of just cutting these LEDs to length and then soldering them all up. These are a lot brighter than the original red one. I'm gonna need to put a dimmer on these ones. There we go. All of them are in. Now it's just time to solder them up, connect them on the back, and plug her in. First we gotta drill some holes so the wires can go through it, because I'm lazy in 3D modeling and it doesn't always get done. And any excuse to use some power tools is always a good one. Now we're just going to add some hot glue to insulate and kind of reinforce, because you never know where this will end up. It'll be moved around a couple times, I'm sure. For each step, it's always good to test to see. Make sure you don't screw anything up. Glorious. All on. Move to the next. Isn't the optimal way to test these, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. That one. Lastly. Glorious. Let's connect them all up. Plug her in. truth. Let's see if everything worked out as it should. Ho-ho! Now we're talking. I have a few different dimmers. This one's more of an industrial one. 12 volt, 30 amp. Now I don't need anything nearly this strong for this sign because it's only going to pull a couple amps. So I have some of these smaller ones. Which will work just fine. Now I just got to kind of create a bridge between the plug, this, and eventually I'd like to 3D print a little housing for this. I was about to get started and I was like trying to figure out a way to make a bracket for these, but what if we just kind of lined them up perfectly? And I think that's gonna work. I'll push those in there, clamp them down, or if I have to, I can just put a little solder in there. But that lines up perfectly. I like that. Good stuff. To Rhino I go. Okay, I tried, before I printed anything out, I tried fitting them in there. I had to like smash them to get them to fit. Long story short, they're not fitting. So I'm gonna try and solder these out and smash them a little bit so it's more of a fit. Something similar to what these would actually be used for. But I still think it's gonna work. Okay, as I was coming up with a solution, I came up with something, little jumpers, and then I wanted to make sure to test it before I, finalize printing everything. But as I dim it, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but like it doesn't dim at all, which is weird. Like it stays the same. So I tried it on my old sign, did it on my new sign, and it just doesn't dim. So I don't know if these dimmers are junk or what. So back to the drawing board, I guess. All right, let's try this again. I have a different speed controller or voltage regulator, which is lower in value than this one. So this one's technically stronger, should be able to hold more amperage. This one can hold less amperage, it's okay for this sign. But let's plug it in and see if we don't get any blue magical smoke, if we can get it to dim. Yeah, see? That one definitely dims a lot better. I can see it goes way down to almost nothing, and way bright. So, I don't know, these dimmers might not be good, or maybe there needs to be more voltage or more amperage going through them for them to work better. I don't know. Regardless, I think we're gonna roll with this one. I think it's gonna be okay for this sign as I figure out and tinker around with why the other ones don't work. All right, after we got this thing all working, printed out a little box. Of course, had to do some custom labeling because why not? So it goes in like that, slides back just a fuzz. I'm gonna take this little nut, tighten it down, take our little cap piece, kind of squeeze it all together, nice and tight, put the knob on it, there we go. We got a little voltage dimmer in a cool custom box. Let's go plug it in. Moment of truth. Plug that in there. Plug this in there. There we go. Dim, bright. Simple enough. Cool. And just like that, we have a completed sign. Turned out pretty good. Thanks for watching, and if you're interested in some of the other projects we're doing, make sure to follow along, share to your friends, and we'll see you in the next video.